Everyone, welcome to Single Values. Today I'm looking at Humacyte. This stock is not performing well. $4.44. Things going terrible with the company? Well, not quite. They're still waiting on FDA, but obviously when nothing happens, people get bored, people get pessimistic, and obviously the company raised $15 million that people did not like. But it looks like it was a single institutional holder who approached them and raised at $5.34, which looks pretty good now that the share price is at $4.44. It means they definitely don't have to raise after approval, if approval does come very soon. But we don't know when approval is coming. Thanks FDA, you're not really being helpful by taking so long. You're taking over 9 months. It's closing on 10 months soon, and it's going to just be a standard review time. This company got priority review. What's the point of priority review if you don't get priority review timeframes? But you know, that's just the reality, and you just have to wait. And the husband of the CEO is just constantly selling. He is also a director of the company. I don't know if he should be a director of the company anymore, given just the amount of selling he's doing. It seems it's not really great for the company, but obviously you know, it seems like he has financial problems with his finance company, so he needs to sell no matter what price. So he has been selling today in the $4 kind of like $4.50 kind of zone, and yeah, like it's excruciating. Like it's putting a lot of pressure on the share price. So if we look at the average trading volume, it's about 2.9 million shares usually on a daily basis. Today we saw 5.8 million shares traded, so obviously more than average. Basically just twice the average. And why is that the case? Well, the CEO's husband, which is also a director, he sold just over 800,000 shares, and then when the share price started dropping substantially, I think people also panic, and there's been a lot of shares being traded, you know, both ways, obviously. So yeah, like he's not helping by selling anyway. But at the end of the day, like, it's nothing wrong with the company, like at least it doesn't appear so, except FDA is taking forever. Last quarterly call, which was not long ago, they did say they thought it was kind of imminent that an approval or at least a review will be done. So you know, it could happen any day, any week by now. I think hopefully, you know, they do have like a time frame in their mind that they hope to do this by the standard time frame of 10 months. But of course we don't know with the FDA. They might just find this a really difficult technology to kind of analyze in a timely basis, so that it's taking forever, which isn't great for anyone or the stock price. Yeah, like there's nothing I can really say about this. Like, I would love to be very hopeful in this sense, but at the same time you just have to be realistic. And currently, like, there's nothing wrong with the company on the face of it. It is more the FDA. The FDA is just taking forever, and like there's definitely other companies that are also waiting on the FDA. Like, Humacyte's definitely not the only one in this situation. So that's just one thing to be clear. It's just not them. FDA is just overloaded with decisions. So I think it's just a matter of a waiting game. So if it was just the FDA being uncertain with a time frame with these guys, that would be really, really weird, which, I mean, it's already weird enough. But if it's happening with other companies, then, you know, it looks more like an FDA problem than a company problem. But, you know, that is just the reality. I think, yeah, like this current share price, the company is cheap. Like, they've spent so much money doing their research and development to get to this stage. They've spent so much time, like years and years, getting to where they are now. And yeah, like it is the tipping point of an FDA decision, whether this company, you know, just wallows downwards for a while, or they head into the $1 billion status, which will be awesome. But of course, sometimes things aren't as straightforward as we want. It's definitely not been a straightforward process holding for this FDA approval. But of course, it will come eventually. It's just a matter of waiting. If you own shares, obviously you just let it do its work. You don't watch it. No point watching a share price just bounce in between that much if you're not planning to sell or buy. If you're waiting on the FDA decision, you just wait for the FDA decision and just go do your thing. Obviously, people don't have that tendency to be that patient, and that's the terrible part about stock investing. You just want things to happen immediately, and obviously they don't. I think you believe what the company has, then you just keep holding. When you watch the share price drop, there is a part about you that sinks and feels like, gee, am I making the right decision? I've been reviewing 2 other companies a lot more recently, which was Rocket Lab and Intuitive Machines, and those companies itself has more than doubled in that time frame. So is this the company that I'm being real stubborn about, or is this the company that is just taking longer than usual to am I going to get my trifecta? I think this year I've been pretty on the dot with a lot of these companies in terms of what I'm picking. I think in the past I used to make a lot of videos around a lot of companies, and then I thought it's good to do a lot of research and look at different companies, but at the end of the day, it definitely makes sense to do more quality kind of focus. And this year I've definitely just tried to focus more on a quality focus. Obviously I don't have enough as much time as I used to. Obviously you can see by the amount of videos that I've made, not many, but I try to for the few companies that I am really, really focused on, because obviously you want to focus on a few companies and you want to know when they do really well. I think Humacyte's the one that's really an outlier, where I usually like companies that have got really, they've got decent revenues, and you kind of see where the trajectory goes because you can see the growth and you can measure it all. But Humacyte's one of those pre-revenue companies that I kind of don't like to get into these days as much, because obviously to get into the situation, there's obviously big rewards if you get it right, but at the same time it's a lot of waiting and you get a lot of uncertainty. The aim of investing is not to be in so many uncertain situations. Obviously you want to be in stocks where you have certainty. You look at Warren Buffett, he used to talk about crossing bridges. You want to cross a bridge where you have the most certainty. If you're not certain, you don't want to cross the bridge. If you're not certain that truck going over the bridge is going to cross, then don't go over that bridge. Go over the bridge further down where you absolutely kind of guarantee that it's going to be able to cross that bridge. This sort of stands out as sort of an outlier in my approach of investing, but at the same time, the research that you do, and you look at the data, you look at the surgeons and how they talk about this company, it sounds phenomenal. The company is, in a sense, breathtaking in where they are right now. The tech is real. This is actually being used on people, and it's actually working really well. It's gone through its trials. It's been tested in Ukraine in a battlefield. Those are really strong results. So it's a matter of, does the FDA have enough data to be sure that no problems will arise? Because obviously it's not about just a working product. It's not about things looking good. It has to be absolutely in its absolute right the best. It has to be really good. They don't want to approve something onto the market that could have a lot of problems later down the track. And that's why they take forever, because they have to analyze all the data. It's not a matter of just a simple process. It's really, really scrutinizing all the data, the side effects, everything. So hence why they take forever. So I think it is still just a matter of a waiting game. Like I have a lot of confidence in the company, but obviously we don't know what the FDA decides at the end of the day, and we don't know what time frame they will decide on, which is really crazy. But I still have faith in this company, even though the share price has dropped like a rock from like $8 all the way to like $4.44, which is excruciating, but again, it's a reality. I think we just wait. CEO thought decision could be imminent, and any day now the decision could come out, which will be you're either you just have to be really certain. You got to make a decision. You can't just dwell back and forth. You just have to go, do you like this company? Do you like what it does? Do you think it's going to do well or not? And you just have to make a decision, and you just have to be certain around that. Be certain around your investing decision, and obviously that's what your research is. You research to be certain. Obviously with the FDA decision, we're not certain about that. But everything else, you should be certain. That's investing, right? Investing is about being certain. And that's how I kind of view this kind of company. Now, I can look at Rocket Lab and I go, I have certainty around that, because you can see their revenues have been growing very consistently. Same thing with intuitive machines. The only outlier here is Humacyte, which is pre-revenue. But if you look at the trial that they've gone through, the process, a lot of these presentations that they've been doing, they're very consistent, they're very good quality. They've got a lot of doctors, surgeons, they're all backing this company in terms of what they see in this product, and those reviews are really, really good. So, if the product's good, eventually things do come out as a reward later on. It's a sad point about the FDA. FDA, hopefully they come up with a decision soon, and hopefully it's a positive one. If you got any questions or comments, post below. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.